Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be taking a look at using our VCM Scanner software to do data capturing and being able to save the data files to our laptop into our project folder. This is known as data logging, and we want to make sure that we're understanding this basic functionality and some of the other little details here in the software so that we're doing it correctly, so that we're able to capture data, to be able to play it back. Data analysis and taking a look at our data logs is absolutely critical in our tuning process. So we know our VCM editor software is used to be able to read and write the file to our engine control module, being able to make our calibrating and tuning changes in the file. But without using the VCM scanner to see what's going on, we're tuning blind. And you can't make any accurate changes without good data and data analysis. So that's why it's super important that the VCM scanner here, we're covering all of the details possible. We're gonna have a bunch of tutorials covering some of these basic functionalities with a VCM scanner. So we're just breaking down in this tutorial, doing the record, the stop, and the save process. But again, there are some other details that I want to cover. Let's jump in here. Let's take a look at a few things. Now, before I jump in and actually go through some of our clickable icons here at the top, I do want to point out the state I'm in right now. So I'm sitting in my vehicle, the ignition key's powered on, the vehicle is off. So we're key on, engine off. I have my MPVI2 cable plugged into the OBD2 port, which is plugged into my laptop, and I'm able to start a data log at this point in time. So you can only data log when you're connected to the vehicle. Now the engine can be not running or running, it doesn't really matter, but you do have to have the vehicle powered on. Now, in this state, I could simply go up to the icon here and click record or start scanning. This is gonna start to record the PID channels that I have in my PID channels list right here. Now these channels are generic channels for my vehicle. We want to have specific channels that we set up and we use for different calibrating and tuning tasks with our Gen 3 vehicles. So for example, if I'm tuning idle, I'll have specific channels I want to take a look at. If I'm doing full throttle, I'll have a completely different set of PID channels or logging channels that I want to take a look at. If I'm going and doing transmission tuning, then I'm going to be logging specific things for looking at the transmission control. So the PID logging list here is very important. We're going to learn how to create custom logging lists in another tutorial. We're not going to do it now, but just realize that when you click record, we're capturing and recording the channels that we're logging over here in our PID logging list. Now, we can see here, we also have a button icon, connect the vehicle. Now, this is something I always recommend that you do before you even click on the record button. And if you're, let's say you have two vehicles, you're sharing the MPVI cable between two vehicles, this is especially important. We want to connect to the vehicle first so that we can do a repoll for supported parameters option. This makes sure that you're capturing and getting all of the available PID logging channels for a vehicle. So if you're bouncing back and forth between vehicles or even connecting to a new vehicle for the first time, you always want to do repoll for supported parameters. That's going to make sure that you have all of the logging channels available to select in your PID logging list. Let me demonstrate this real quick. So if I go up to connect a vehicle, we can see that's going to give that a second. Our screen's going to connect to the vehicle. Then we can find here, if we go to vehicle, we can go to repoll for supported parameters. That was just describing that feature. This makes sure that it's going to be resyncing your vehicle and making sure that all of the logging channels are available. Again, if you have your MPVI cable and you're sharing it between multiple vehicles, if you're doing tuning professionally, this is especially important. Every time you get into a new vehicle, go in and use the repoll for supported parameters because you could be missing logging channels. The scanner software here definitely can get mixed up and essentially get confused between different vehicles. Even though it might recognize your vehicle up here, you may be losing some things and not getting all your logging channels. So if I go to repoll for supported parameters, we're going to see it's detecting all the supported parameters and it's going through all of the available PID logging channels and making sure I have everything that I could select in my PID logging list. So for right now, obviously it's not important because we're just using these generic channels, but when we want to get specific and select channels in here, super critical that you do that process first. So now if I click the record button up top here, we're going to see where we'll start scanning. It's going to start to show me channels that populate in my PID logging list. So taking a look at this, engine RPM is 0, vehicle speed is 0. So the engine's not running, we're not moving. We're going to see those channels don't populate any information. But if we take a look at engine coolant temperature, for example, we're seeing that
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here. And you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.